Islam. Early birds know what's up, basically. Now, had a dream, vision, whatever. I just now checked my email. Had a dream, checked my email. Woke up maybe hour and a half ago. So, no, like I gotta check the email. So, check the email, and there's an email from somebody last night, 11 hours ago, is what the email says. Right? 9:39 p.m., 11 hours ago. Greetings, Cujo. I have been listening to other radio shows, and I want to know why some are pushing the private citizen birth certificate authentication process so strong, and that you need to hurry before it's too late. They say that this is a very effective method to distinguish you from the other citizens, and that their names are coming back in upper and lower case from the State Department. Listening to these shows confuses me so much because it is the opposite of what I hear from MHHS, Eyes Wide Open, and your YouTube channel, that nationality is the solution. I am very close to getting ready to proclaim my nationality. I've already declared it to myself, and I've been studying. I just don't want to make a wrong move or leave anything out. Thanks. Jalila L. Alright? This is live right now, just so you know. Whoever is seeing this, this is live. Right? This is being recorded as something's happening. Okay. So check the email. Now, where it gets deep now, it gets deep is yesterday, got an email from Brother Jonathan Bay. Brother Jonathan Bay is one of the Moors that head up the Moorish Directory website. Right? Just go check it out, the Moorish Directory. It'll come up. Those Moors do their little, those are the technological Moors, right? That know how to do the online whatever. So you need websites, put up your fiat. There's Moors right there. Technological Moors. You know what I mean? Not the hacker foolishness Moors, right? Moors who are active. Oh, and to put it on the record as well, right? If you recognize Jonathan, that's not Asiatic name, but there's a hyphen, Bay, or no hyphen and just Bay. He's Jonathan Bay. You can't tell him that he's not Jonathan Bay, because he's a studier. He's not a follower of this information. He's not a follower of this information. He said, okay, heard about this man named Noble Ali. He said A, B, C, D, E, or whatever. Don't go check. Okay, it kind of equals out, really. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say I'm Jonathan Bay instead of just saying I'm Jonathan, because more should have Bay on my name. Common sense. Right there is the redemption process that these people are talking about. Go to them for some whatever, pay them this, that, file these papers or whatever for a redemption process, when the redemption process is proclaim your nationality. That's why it's the solution. Yesterday, sister called me. I just don't understand about the Underground Railroad. Why is it that these people are gonna go on Underground Railroad? They're slaves or whatever like that, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm researching Harriet Tubman, and I found out that Harriet Tubman had freedom papers. So, you know, like, is that the same? Is that the same as what we're doing or whatever? There's just sister, you know what I mean? Got a child or whatever, and she's just studying because she found out about this information. She's doing some research on Underground Railroad, where these Negro, black, colored, whoever they call themselves, push that. That's their lane. And in studying that lane of know thyself, because she thought she came from, slave ships or whatever like that, so you follow that story. Okay, and following that story, she got to a part where some slaves said they're going to escape slavery by going north. And in order for them to do that, they need freedom papers. This is what she found out in her own just study, right? That's the redemption process. That all these people over here are talking about, yeah, they got radio, blog, talk, store, and they're telling you discharge debts and blah, 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 and all this other nonsense. When the get out of slavery redemption process is not filing a UCC1 or a UCC or a PPSA or whatever these people claim is the thing that you have to go pay to file something in order to be free. Anybody going that lane is a goddamn idiot. I'm going to show you how stupid you are. Just because there's an active Moor by the name of Jonathan Bate, and him and some other Moors did a treaty. Everybody said Moors don't do treaties, whatever. Confusion amongst the Moors, and I don't want to be part of that because of confusion. This guy over here says whatever. But then these two Moors that live in totally different jurisdictions or whatever like that came together, did a treaty amongst themselves to have something called the Moorish Directory. So Moors can be directed. That's just them personally. And they linked me and said, "Yo, we're doing this thing or whatever. We want to be able to put you on the site because you're telling people what's up." And we study from a certain demographic of Moors, and you're in that circle of Moors that we study from. So we want to put together a website so that all Moors anywhere they are can have a lane to get the correct information. Period. We don't care about whatever you do and you know what I mean, back where you are. We don't know whatever like that. We just want to have you as a representative of this site. So the things that you see on that site, they're hand picking personally because they have their own treaty, which is their constitution that they use to exercise their right to have a website with a particular theme, whatever like that. So when you go on the Moorish Directory website, there's going to be an article about Quagmire of Controversy. You go read that. If you have time to do that, you got more important stuff to do in this little time that I got. Because it is 9 a.m. Saturday morning. And MOORNING morning. Right? So we'll start off with some noble duality because this is where everything he laid down, doesn't matter where it came from, but if he laid it down, it became prophecy. just words in some book anymore. He laid something down, Noble Drew Ali. That means what he laid down was prophecy, is prophecy, and forever will be prophecy. And all this is going back to the email, remember? That's initially what this is about. To show how deep more science is. On some little menial level of just dreaming about checking the email. Well, I don't know what the email was or whatever like that. I decided to dream on the computer checking email. So, alright, when I get up, I'll go check email. But the dream woke me up. So since I was up, I'm just check email. So this is chapter 14. Verse 12. The 14th chapter is the ministry of John the Harbinger. And they sent couriers forth to talk with him, that they might know about the coming king. But they could not find him not. But they could find him not. And after certain days he came again into the marketplace, and all the city came to hear him speak. He said, Be not disturbed, you rulers of the state. Be not disturbed, you rulers of the state. The coming king is no antagonist. He seeks no place on earth, on earthly throne. The eyes of men shall see it not, and none can enter but the pure in heart. Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. Again, the hermit disappeared. The people strove to follow him, but he drew a veil about his form, and men could see him not. The Jewish feast, they came. Jerusalem was filled with Jews and proselytes from every part of Palestine, and John stood in the temple court, and said, Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. So you have lived in sin. The poor cry in your streets, and you regard them not. Sound familiar? Getting shot up, running, getting shot up in your back. You lived in sin, being somebody that you're not, for so many generations out of this slave era. The poor cry in your streets. Black people came to be the poorest people. And those are the people always in the streets, crying, groveling, getting tear gas shot on them. But then nothing happens after that. You go through all that and nothing happens. And then you're bringing your wounded cavalry talking about let's go to war with somebody. The poor cry in your streets and you regard them not. This is the low-level people, and this is also the high-level people who know this information and refuse to tell people that nationality is the solution. They're going to run around and have seminars and all this and putting information out there, getting people in worse situation than they are right now. Because once you get on this side, the stress of this will kill you if you're not vibrating on the right frequency. Why would the stress be whatever? Because the average person, unfortunately, is a coward. Because especially in our community, because they're going to go fight nothing, fight boogeymen, instead of stand up to this European in that court when they try to force that ticket on, or when they try to put that child support on and force them, extort them to pay child support that's not even going to the child. And they know that it's not going to the child when they go pay child support. Because baby mom complained that she never got the money. And he knows he sent it. The poor cry in the streets, and you regard them not. Your neighbors, who are they? You have defrauded friends and foes alike. That's the whole conscious community circuit, whatever. Where they defrauded friends and foes alike. To the point where they just, hey, let's just chill together and defraud everybody. And we'll have our benefit, you know what I mean? Show them our whatever. We're out there, but not teaching the people anything. Let's have the people like zombies. Talk about they're awake. And they haven't even read the Quran that the Prophet brought. You're awake, you haven't even read the Holy Quran of the Moral Science Temple of America, and you're awake. You worship Allah with voice and lip. Your hearts are far away and set on gold. Your priests have bound upon the people burdens far too great to bear. They live in ease upon the hard-earned wages of the poor. All these package seller guys pushing redemption process like there's some posse comitatus. Your lawyers, doctors, scribes are useless cumberers of the ground. They are but tumors on the body of the state. This is John, who in modern names, you know how we say, the Moabites, right? The ancient name Moabites in modern times are the Moors. Now, the ancient day John in modern times is Marcus Garvey. So this is him talking to you, all you Garveyite, whoever else, from the Moral Science Temple of America, what Noble Drew Ali brought, and told everybody that Marcus Garvey is his forerunner. In this same book, told him that Marcus Garvey is his forerunner. And here's John telling you, prepare to meet the coming king. That's Garvey talking to you, not John. So I said, catch me in the whirlwind. Because the whirlwind is really thinking. Not some breeze outside. Don't forget, this is Garvey talking to you. They toil not, neither do they spin, yet they consume the profits of your marts of trade. Your rulers are adulterers, extortioners, and thieves, regarding not the rights of man. Who are you complaining about? You complain European, huh? Shoot you in the street, strangle you to death, killing your children, and you just want to march and picket and get nothing but tear gas, audio, weapons, killing yourself for nothing. And then when you take, all the, no getting better, getting your strength back or whatever, you're going to take yourself beat up and talk about you want to go have championship fight after you just got your ass kicked. But Drew Ali said, you're going to learn from pain. Pain's going to make you learn. Because Moors are hard-headed, stiff-necked people. So pain's going to make you learn. You learn, though. You will learn. Your rulers are adulterers and extortioners and thieves, regarding not the rights of men. And robbers ply their calling in the sacred hills. The holy temple you have sold to thieves. Their dens are the sacred places set apart for prayer. Hear, you people of Jerusalem. All the Hebrews out there. Garvey's talking to you too, because remember, everybody knows that it was the so-called black Jews who you guys foremothers and forefathers, the black Jews of Harlem, went to Ethiopia and all that for the coronation of His Imperial Majesty and all that. Don't even front like you guys don't know what's up. Because in black Jews Harlem time, they were known as the Moorish Jews. You see the sign on the goddamn building. So don't play like Hebrew Israelites aren't Moors. Hear ye, you people of Jerusalem, playing games, debating with these clowns about something, about stupidness, and not even repping your nationality that you're Moors. All them Hebrew Israelites, except the ones that know that they're the Moorish Zionist Jews, and you could go look them up on YouTube, and they're still around today, the same guys from the picture. And they'll tell you that, yeah, all these Hebrew Israelite guys are supposed to be down with this, because this is really what it is. And then in their stuff, they have the Lion of Judah, Ethiopian/Abyssinian flag. Because that's really where the line of the Jews comes from. Not no Hebrews. Not no Hebrews from Israel and all this type of stuff. That's the founders of Judaism. It's Cushites. That's Cushite culture. So all these people who have it twisted because they don't have a prophet, they don't have a forerunner. They're playing games like they weren't told. When they know that they were told nationality is the only solution by their own leaders. Yahweh ben Yahweh. You ever hear him talk about he's not black and all that? And you can't be Negroes. And he always had his turban, Moorish turban. That's Hebrews. The man used to go outside and call orbs and stuff like that. That wasn't these jokers that you see today saying that they're Hebrews standing on box and have a microphone and all that stuff. Hebrews are more scientists. And robbers ply their callings in the sacred hills. The holy temple you have sold to thieves. Their dens are in the sacred places set apart for prayer. Hear, you people of Jerusalem, reform, turn your evil ways, or Allah will turn from you, and heathen from afar will come, and what is left from your honor and your fame will pass in one short hour. Warning to all you package seller people. Stop telling people their birthright, because you're not messing with Moors. You're messing with Allah. Because Allah turned from you people a long time ago. You lucky Noble Drew Ali came. Lucky. Noble Drew Ali, it's its own thought of Allah that took it upon itself to manifest in human form, to give you one more chance to be saved. That's really what, in the email, they're talking about. You know, hurry before it's too late, go to the redemption process. No, hurry before it's too late, proclaim your nationality. Because obviously, it is very clear and apparent that these people are killing only people called Negro black colored people. Nobody else is getting shot up. The only people getting shot up, running, getting bulldozed by police cars are people classified as the minority, which is Negroes, blacks, coloreds, African Americans, Hispanics, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, West Indies, whatever they call themselves, island, the minority. That's the only people in North America that are getting slaughtered, and they're gonna go do some process in a slaughtered status, talking about respect rights. And then these individuals who are using the frequency of Allah, telling people about, judgment days coming and all that. Let us be your God. Let our jurisdiction of, you know, paper pushing, right? Paper pushing. Let that be what it's about. But that's not the redemption process. We told you the sister found out studying Harriet Tubman that she had freedom papers. What does that mean? Why would she have freedom papers? This is so-called came off the slave ship from Africa or whatever. Why would she have freedom papers, and why wouldn't she go back to Africa if she has freedom papers? Why is she staying here? So it's imperative that people are gaming people. People are knowingly gaming people, straying them away from their profit and this basic thing to do to be free. Proclaim your nationality. And just like Sis said in the email, I've declared it to myself. Which means she knows about her birthright. She put Jalila L. Right? I'm not concerned with the other name that's the email address is made in. That's not my concern. Don't worry about that. It's signed Jalila L. Okay, so that's Moorish American that sent this. Conscious of their nationality and their birthrights. Confident in their nationality and birthrights. That's why they sent the email. That's why we tell people send emails, because really to see who's really on it. Because whoever's not on it, they won't send an email. And they'll go be Negro, black, colored, or whatever, and hope the bullet's not yours. Hope the name on the bullet's not yours. When you just driving from getting milk, and the lights come on behind you. You know what I mean? Because it's open season right now. Open season on Negro, black, colored minority extermination. But go do some process of some redemption, birth certificate, BS. You're killing yourself when you go there too. But on that way, you killed yourself. There ain't no claim nobody's gonna make on your behalf when you kill yourself messing with these birth certificates and all that, SIN cards and whatever, without having nationality and birthrights as a foundation first and foremost. Before you even talk about some redemption process with some birth certificate, you better have a nationality and birthrights as your foundation from the basement, sub basement to the pinnacle of this structure. The foundation better be nationality and birthrights. Right? Prepare Jerusalem. Prepare to meet your king. Right? This is Garvey telling you. Prepare to meet your prophet. Well, he never mentioned Noble Drew Ali. You can't say that. Well, yeah, I can say that because Garvey taught nationality. Garvey taught nationhood, period. I don't care whatever else he said. He taught nationality and he taught nationhood. That's the same thing that Noble Drew Ali teaches. So he told all those people in all those books that he wrote that Tony Martin rewriting stuff to show people that he was talking about nationality. He wasn't talking about, you know, getting some ship to go somewhere. He was talking about stabilizing ourselves from an economical perspective and a unity perspective by seeing ourselves as one. But you can't see yourself as one if you're Negro, black, colored, and all these other things. That's why he was preparing the people to meet the one that when he comes, I already prepared you by teaching you nationhood. Now, go get your nationality. And now let's go be doctors and scientists and whatever, because then everything that we get, whether it's from European, Asian, whoever, it's coming back to the nation. It's not going to some individual club of um, robbers plying their calling in the sacred hills, and adulterers and extortionists and thieves regarding not the rights of man. He said no more. He left the court, and no one saw him go. The priests, the doctors, and the scribes were all enraged. They sought for John, intent to do harm. They found him not. Right? Again, the hermit disappeared. The people strove to follow him, but he drew a veil about his form, and men could see him not. These people with these redemption packages, they're obvious. They don't know about drawing veils. They're telling you that we, the redemption from a Moorish perspective guys, are exercising the powers of the 48 laws. Because that's what groomed us. And you're following that redemption process. Right? Redemption process. Okay? Now remember, we're talking about redemption process. And they're saying that that is the way. They're saying that's the way. Right? That is the way. That they're gonna go claim the straw man birth certificate. Tell the State Department whatever through some papers, and the State Department is gonna say, here's the documentation back, but with the name not capitalized, written properly. That means you're still a slave. Because the State Department is part of the United States federal government that is dissolved, bankrupt, and insolvent since 1933, gave that card to you, or changed those letters from all uppercase to lowercase, which means they have jurisdiction. But how do they have jurisdiction if they're bankrupt and insolvent and dissolved? They have jurisdiction because stupid package seller idiots who want to fleece the people, the robbers and the thieves that John/Marcus Garvey was telling you about, are not giving you your birthright. and they got millions of views. Because everybody's doing redemption process. And you ask them about Noble Drew Ali, and they don't know what the hell you're talking about, who you're talking about. They want to know if you're Muslim. When this is nothing religious, dogmatized, spirituality, whatever. This is not. This is nationality. This is proclaim who you are. So since people don't understand what things mean because they don't have dictionaries and whatever like that, and they're playing around like they got, they're gonna know about their birthrights when they don't go to the library, right? They don't have any law dictionaries or anything like that. They're from this perspective of, oh yeah, somebody said whatever, so I'm just gonna do whatever. When this is birthright, this is supposed to be in you like you're blinking. This is supposed to be in you like you're breathing. Something naturally you do. Exercise your birthright. Just something naturally you do. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about grass. I mean, even though it's everywhere, but it's not because, you know what I mean? That's just how nationality and birthright is supposed to be in you like that. If it's not, you're gonna get straight into stuff. Because once again, I've been listening to other radio shows, and I want to know why some are pushing private citizen whatever birth certificate. Why are you listening to other radio shows? We already tell people rvbaypublications.com, morrisciviletter.net, Moorish Guideposts, right? Moorish Directory. There's particular jurisdictions that we go to learn because there's you not hear what go back and check what John said. This is the time that we're living in right now. With all these thieves and robbers all over the place, extortioners, taking your hard-earned fiat, and they're not giving back nothing to the community. They're not even giving nothing back. You get shot out in a video, and then that's supposed to mean that you we honor each other. So you shot me out in the video. You never bought one book, one CD, one nothing like that. But you're talking about conscious stuff. It is an established fact that the United States federal government has been dissolved. It is an established fact. That's why they killed James Trafficant Jr. Tractor rolling over on somebody who was born on a farm. Right? Bill Cooper. And have pickup trucks and stuff like that. They're not on some, you know, corporate life. They tilled the land and all that stuff. Same thing Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, you better get back to your ancient forefathers culture. They're farmers or whatever. The KKK and all these guys. What do you think? Those guys are farmers. Which means they're using more science. They got almanac and all that. They harvest crops and stuff when they're not wearing their KKK stuff. That's more science. That's 12 signs of the zodiac. That's CMB and all that. The U.S. federal government has been dissolved. By the Emergency Banking Act, March 9, 1933, 48 Statute 1 Public Law 89-719, declared by President Roosevelt being bankrupt and insolvent, being bankrupt and insolvent. This is the United States federal government, who the State Department is under that jurisdiction. So where they get authority to be changing names on cards to lowercase and all that stuff if they're bankrupt and dissolved? It's real simple if we just think like Noble Drew Ali told us to do. Instead of thinking that everything's in a book somewhere, we gotta find this book about how to do the, because when we find that book, then we're gonna be the masters of, what's going on? It's your thinking. That's the book. This is your birthright. Nobody can give this to you in some meeting, some seminar. Pay 50 and then, yeah, now I got my, it's yours. This is strictly internal. And if you don't have that as a perspective, that this is your birthright here first, before it's out there, before it's at the edge of your fingertips, toe tips, before it's there, it has to be internalized. If it's not internalized, you will fail all the time with this, because it's some common sense. The United States are the guys that issue the birth certificate. All right. They're bankrupt, dissolved, and insolvent. Insolvent. The condition of a person, not clarifying whether it's natural person or corporate person, so, it could apply to both. So this can apply to corporations, or this can apply to actual individuals, because it doesn't clarify which person they're talking about. The condition of a person who is unable to pay his debts, one who cannot or does not pay, one who is unable to pay his debts, one who is not solvent, one who has not means of property sufficient to pay his debts, one who is unable to pay commercial paper in the due course of business. Other definitions: one who is unable to pay his debts as they fall due in the usual course of trade or business. Although his assets in value exceed the amount of his liability, or the embarrassment is one temporary, but it is held that mere inability to pay debts promptly as they mature is not conclusive, and that one who has sufficient property subject to legal process to satisfy all legal demands is not insolvent. A corporation is insolvent when its assets are insufficient for the payment of its debts, and it has ceased to do business, or has taken, or is in the act of taking, a step which will practically incapacitate it from conducting the corporate enterprise with reasonable prospect of success, or its embarrassments are such that an early suspension and failure must ensue. A bank is insolvent when the cash value of its assets realizable in a reasonable time is not equal to its liability exclusive of stock liabilities. So one who is insolvent and bankrupt, one who is insolvent, start there. We want to get ahead of anybody. We want you to be really clear that you cannot do a redemption process that includes an instrument that came from a bankrupt and insolvent jurisdiction. You just played yourself listening to some idiot who knows about nationality and birthrights and either is German, French, Scottish, Dutch, whatever, or a dirty Moor who knows about nationality and birthrights in the background, he's Moor or whatever like that, but then when he comes out in public, he's talking about, L with all caps. Then say that they're Moor and they come from this and that, which again, with the email, private citizen birth certificate, yesterday again, right, did a class with Pardon the Interjection on the same topic about these individuals pushing this process. And people calling him like, yo, this is what it's at because, this guy said that he got to discharge whatever and he got to do this and he got to do that. But that's not really what it is. That's not what it is. Right? That's not what it is. Okay? We read insolvent. Something that's insolvent cannot do business, cannot do anything with regard to anything. It is insolvent. So that's one strike against birth certificate as redemption process. Right? That's one strike. But we're not going to stop there. HJR 192, 73rd Congress, M session, June 5th, 1933. It's 2015 right now, and you're talking about some redemption process from some bankrupt and insolvent people since 1933. Are you an idiot if you're following that as redemption? We already said what insolvent is. They're bankrupt as well. And you're going to that jurisdiction to claim your freedom, engaging in contracts with a State Department, right? A State Department. Joint resolution to suspend the gold standard and abrogate the gold clause, dissolve the sovereign authority of the United States and the official capacities of all United States governmental officers, and departments. State Department. Okay, well, State Department has been dissolved of all its capacities as a United States federal government. It doesn't have jurisdiction. It doesn't have power. The only reason that it has power is because Negro, black, colored people don't want to proclaim their nationality. They want to march and picket and lie in the street for civil rights that's been unconstitutional since the 1800s. And Negro codes and black acts. They're fighting to keep those going. They're fighting to keep Negro acts and black acts going and void themselves from being connected to the free national constitution that's still enforced today, that Barack Obama, all these people took their oath on to do the fraud that they're doing to people. But why? Because, like we said in the beginning, your foundation better be nationality and birthrights before you do anything, even fraud. But if they have nationality as a foundation and doing fraud, and you just have your Negro, black, colored, or whatever, you're done for. That's why we said, why did Sharpton say nationalize the police force? He's begging for help. He's saying, yo, I took the check. I can't talk, but I'm talking in code. You never ever hear me spoke about nationality ever in my life. I'm sorry what I did. I can't come out and say I'm sorry because they own me. Their hand is in my ass. They own me. But I will speak in code best I can so that you, the viewer, the listener, can find the nearest Moorish whatever and proclaim your nationality. That's what he said in code when he talked about nationalizing police force. Yeah, and if Sharpton shows up dead, you know what we're talking about is legit, because they would have seen this and known that, oh shit, this guy knows. And he told these people when he had an oath not to tell. It's interesting how people are missing. Interesting how people are missing. You're gonna go file for some birth certificate, whatever, as a redemption process when the individual is bankrupt and dissolved and insolvent. If there was a bankrupt and insolvent and dissolved store, you would not shop there because the windows would be boarded up. There'll be nothing inside there. It would just be a building sitting there. So you would walk right past it like it didn't even exist. But now that somebody said, they're bankrupt and insolvent, but there's still stuff inside. Now you're trying to go see how you could open this door or whatever like that to go inside this bankrupt and insolvent corporation and take some stuff. Like that's your stuff. And it's the president telling you that they're bankrupt and insolvent. This is not just some guy in some class or whatever. This is the president of the same corporation that you're contracting with doing birth certificate BS is telling you that they're bankrupt, insolvent, and dissolved. And you don't get that? You don't understand what's going on? You really don't understand. You can't tell me that you don't understand. You gotta understand, overstand, and understand. Because it's not really that hard. It's not that hard. Everything's laid out. Lord Drawley already gave us a foundation of what we're supposed to know so that we can pick and pinpoint and do what we have to do with all the rest of the information that's out here. That's been out here. That we never knew that was out here because we never knew about nationality. We always thought this was some black, Negro, whatever crap. That's not what this is. This is the redemption process. Nationality is the only solution. Keep in mind. Right? Quagmire. Predicament. Mare's nest. Quandary. Awkward. Hazardous situation. You're tainting your soul. You're tainting your true divine self by straying from what Noble Drew Ali brought to go and mess around in some birth certificate dissolved bankrupt instrument thing, right? That we think has some type of credibility. How does something bankrupt have credibility? Okay, bankrupt. Originally and strictly a trader who secretes himself or does certain other acts tending to defraud his creditors. Originally, This is Black's Law Dictionary. And strictly, this is bankrupt. We would think whatever we want about bankrupt because we heard something on the news, we've been to some economics class, and we think we know something. This is what bankrupt means in its original sense, and strictly means this: a trader who secretes himself or does certain other acts tending to defraud creditors. In looser sense, an insolvent person, a broken up or ruined trader. Trader, trader. In English law, there were two characteristics which distinguish bankrupts from insolvents. The former must have been a trader and the object of the proceedings against, not by him. As used in American law, the distinction between bankrupt and insolvent is not generally regarded. On the continent of Europe, however, the distinction still exists. A person who has committed an act of bankruptcy, one who has done some act or suffered some act to be done in consequence of which, under the laws of his country, he is liable to be proceeded against by his creditors for the seizure and distribution among them of his entire property. The term includes one against whom involuntary petition has been filed. A person who, by the formal decree of a court, has been declared subject to a proceeded against under the bankruptcy laws, or entitled on his voluntary application to take the benefit of such laws. Bankruptcy, the state or condition of one who is bankrupt, amenable to the bankrupt laws. The condition of one who has committed an act of bankruptcy and is liable to be proceeded against by his creditors, therefore, or of one whose circumstances are such that he is entitled on his voluntary application to take the benefit of the bankrupt laws. The term is used in looser sense as synonymous with insolvency, inability to pay one's debts, the stopping and breaking up of business because the trader is broken down, insolvent, ruined. It constitutes a branch of equity jurisprudence. In Flour Mills of America, DCMO 27, its purpose is to secure finally to creditors distribution of value of at least part of debtor's assets and to bankrupt discharge from his debts, to end that creditors may be paid as much as may be, and that bankrupt may have new start in life. Insolvency means a simple inability to pay as debt should become payable, whereby the debtor's business would be broken up. Bankruptcy means the particular legal status to be ascertained and declared by a judicial decree. The proceedings taken under bankrupt law against a person or firm or corporation to have been adjudicated a bankrupt and to have his estate administered for the benefit of the creditors and divided among them. The branch of jurisprudence or system of law and practice which is concerned with the definition and ascertainment of acts of bankruptcy and the administration of the bankrupt's estates for the behalf of their creditor and the absolution and restitution of bankrupts. Okay. So bankrupt, stopping and breaking up of business. So how can they claim that you can go get a birth certificate from some bankrupt, insolvent corporation? and use that to go get some credits to discharge something. It's don't be don't be an ignoramus. Don't remove yourself from constitutional law for some benefits. There's no benefits in debt. Nobuju Ali told the Moors, proclaim your nationality and study, study, study. And I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. Because it's yours. This is your birthright. You don't need any birth certificate involved in this. Jolly already told you that, you're going to be paid in compounded interest for what they did to you in slavery. It's already prophesied, so why are you looking for that? Don't worry about that. That'll come when it's supposed to come. Right now, we got a job to do, and that's wake up these people that they're not Negro, black, colored people because they're getting killed in the street if they claim to be that. Just walking down the street, and you could end up shot in the back just because everybody knows that Negro, black, colored people and all that stuff is deaf people. It's carcasses. For those who eat carcasses, they eat forever. Steal organs. Oh yeah, steal organs and sell it on the black market and whatever. No, that's your Chinese food and all that stuff that you're eating. I already told you because I already told you there's no bees or whatever. You think stuff out here is real? When the last time you seen an ant walk somewhere? Especially cities and stuff. We used to see birds and stuff like that when I was in high school. Mad birds, all types of birds, different color birds. Here in Canaanland, when summer came. Bluebirds, cardinals, all that. You don't see those anymore. Everywhere that you look around here is just logs everywhere. Cut down trees like you wouldn't believe how much trees getting cut down. Oh yeah, infestation of some worm, whatever is infesting. So we have to cut down all these trees. Things have already been put in place. And the things that are put in place, all those things are going to be destroyed. Because it's come into violating nature. Which, if we're autochthonous, which means we come from the earth, then we got to get paid in compounded interest. Because not just shooting in the back is a violation. But trees getting cut down for no reason is a violation. Children being able to walk downstairs and walk out of a building is a violation. All those doors should be locked. Why do we also say leave the birth certificate alone? Because if it's bankrupt, dissolved, and insolvent, that means it's void. And anything from that point of its insolvent, bankrupt, dissolvency, anything anything that happens after that is void, has no standing whatsoever. Zero standing, no standing from a law perspective. So it's dead. But it could have life. If an individual who doesn't know about nationality and birthright, which means that they're open, that they can become a host for that dead thing to live. The individual who says, I was looking at this thing on you and they talked about birth certificate and claim $1 million or whatever like that. If they are going toward that without having a clear foundation of nationality and birthrights, they are going to become a host for the bankrupt, dissolved, corporate, European wizards of the dark realm of whatever, are going to be able to use them as a host in order to continue survival, but in a dead state. Because once that person says nationality and birthrights, they're no longer a host. And the death machine will do everything in its power to stay away from them. Because their corporate, bankrupt, dissolved, insolvent, staying alive food is Negro, Black, and colored people, and Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans, and Haitians, and all these people claiming that they're these names when those are names given to them by their ancient war of being servants. Because this is not new. It's been going on. And people still don't want to get it. Garvey came, Juali came, Elijah Muhammad came, everybody came talking about nationhood and going in that direction. But you don't listen to them. You listen to all these leaders that are put on people. You know, especially in this age where, you know, people are desperate. Age where people are desperate. And in their desperation, right, they're reaching for straws. When the noble prophet, Juali, came and told these people, before all their so-called leaders or whatever that they have today that they're praising, came and told them that you're not Negro, Black, or colored people, right, which is the straw man. You're not that. You're not the straw man. So if you're not that, you have nothing to do with that. Why don't you proclaim that you're this? And that proclamation of saying, I am El Bay, X-relation straw man, is a stronger argument than claiming the straw man. And then people say, you mean X-relation? I never heard about that before. How did I know that? It's common sense that we're living in occupation. Being that we're living in occupation and occupation exists and it's around us every day, you better know how to live within contract, because contract is how occupiers make law. Sign here is how occupiers make law. And if you don't know the rules that govern contracts, like A contract is void ab initio. Ab initio. From the beginning. From the first act. Entirely. As to all the acts done in the inception. A party may be said to be trespasser, an estate to be good, an agreement or deed to be void, or a marriage or act to be unlawful, ab initio. Okay? So from the beginning. So they say, here's a contract. From the beginning of that contract, that's void. They say, fill out this one, UCC one, that's void. Why? Because it violates the laws that govern contracts. In some way, shape, or form, it violates it. Well, how? It doesn't matter. It violates it. Because they're bankrupt, insolvent, and dissolved. And they're not supposed to be doing any business. So they have no jurisdiction in business or admiralty or maritime or whatever they want to claim that this is how they have jurisdiction. They cannot have jurisdiction if they're bankrupt, dissolved, and insolvent. So just wanted to put it on the record. Right? Just wanted to put it on the record so that Moors know that nationality is the only solution. Don't worry about the quagmires of controversy. Don't worry about the people talking crap about Noble Drew Ali and talking crap about Moors. They're doing that because their paper package selling time is over. And no more packages will be sold because people are coming into this information knowing that this is their birthright, not some package. Right? Like Harriet Tubman had freedom papers, sundry free Moors. They don't want to be tried under the Negro Acts or the Black Acts. We want to be tried, if there's a controversy, we want to be tried according to what is laid down with the Sultan because we're outside the jurisdiction. Islam told the Moors, don't get caught up in these people's crap. Make sure you study, study, study.